Have you ever wanted beautiful, sexy legs on all of your tables and chairs? Of course you do. That's why you're here. And today we're going to show you how to make the tapering jig so that way you can make that happen. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon for more woodworking videos that are going to be coming up. But in the meantime, let's get to the build. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and get a 2 foot by 4 foot 3/4 inch hardwood plywood and then measure it out. We want to make sure that the plywood's measured out at about roughly 1/3 the board lengthwise. Then we're just going to go ahead and cut that down. Using some blue painter's tape here can help get some tear out removed from the situation, but we decided to just kind of wing it. We just want to line up the sides and just make sure that everything lines up nice and square. And then we just clamped it down to make sure that we were good and even before we start doing all of our marking. Now the basic thing we want to do here is we want to just go ahead and mark out roughly around about the center of the board where our 2 adjusters are going to be. So you don't have to be as scientific as we were here, but I like a little bit of perfection. And just slowly route through here. This is actually a few passes. We just want to go ahead and use a 1/4 inch spiral bit for this part. This will let you get the remaining slot for the top of the T-bolt that you're going to be installing. And it should come out looking something like that. Just drop it in. There you go. Ready to rock. On the top part, we're just going to use the 1/4 inch spiral bit, and this will allow the top of the T-bolt to come through the top, so that way we can lock it down with the star handles that you're going to want for this. And just make sure you're using those aligning sticks like we have set up here. I'll keep everything nice and straight. And it'll come out looking like that. Alright, time for assembly. So we're just going to drop in our T-bolts and then flip the board over. And then we're just going to go ahead and throw the top on here. Just make sure you get the right side. And then get our star knobs on, and that'll let it lock down. Then we just want to go ahead and put down our little clamps here that'll hold the board down when we're doing our job there. And give it a good wax job so everything runs nice and smooth. Okay, so some operational notes about how the jig itself works, and quite frankly why it works. So with a tapering jig, all you have to do is just undo these little guys right here, move it into place, go about there roughly. Lock it down, and there you go. And basically when you put the piece of wood in, the wood will be sitting at an angle, and then when you run it through the table saw, it'll go and it'll cut off the taper, or in essence taper the wood, so that way you can get that nice tapered look on your leg. And up here in this area, since this is so far out, you'll have a tendency to have a nice flat spot. So you'll have a taper halfway and a flat spot otherwise. You can adjust this further to make the taper longer, but just kind of to give a mid-range taper, that'll give you about a middle taper with the way I have this set up. As far as these go, the clamps, these will hold down your workpiece, so this way you don't have to use sandpaper or any sort of like double tape in order to be able to lock the actual block down that you're going and you're cutting. So that makes it nice, simple, and more importantly, sustainable. And if you want to use it as a jointing sled, you can do that too. You just have to make sure that you have it set to whatever board width that you have, generally with just a small amount hanging off the side, and then just move these up or back, and just make sure it's nice and flush on the sides. Lock it down, and again, drop these down, and these will hold it in place, and there you go. You'll have a nice straight board because, of course, the plywood's nice and straight because we're always going to cut on that factory edge, right? So that's basically how it works. Pretty simple when it comes down to it. If you have any improvements or any comments on what you think of the project or whatnot, don't forget to comment down below on those things. And of course, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon so that we can be advised of all of our newest videos as they come out. And we're going to try to drop those generally about once a month. But in the meantime, you guys take care, stay safe in the shop, and we'll see you next time.